my channel. This is Grace Manzi here. In the video today, I'll be showing you how to make your own shearing projects. This was my very first one and I'm so proud of myself. It came out nice. As you can see, the shearing came out very well on the front as well as on the back, okay? As you can see. Right. So, I'm going to show you step by step how I incorporated the basic sleeve pattern for the sleeves and also the basic bodice pattern for the bodice of the dress, and also some skills on how to do the shearing, okay? So I hope you enjoy the video. You're going to need a tape measure, a pair of scissors, okay, your chalk, your shearing threads, okay, matching thread for your fabric, ballpoint needles, because I'm going to be using a jersey fabric, okay, viscose jersey. It's very thin and stretchy, this fabric is, okay, as you can see, right? You're going to need elastic, your pins. I'm going to use this ruler to draw the shearing lines, okay? I'm going to be using my basic sleeve pattern as well, okay, just the upper part. You will see how I'm going to use it when I cut out the sleeves. I'm also going to use my basic bodice pattern, okay, when I cut out the back and front of this dress, okay. So you are going to see how I'm going to use it, okay. Now for the measurements, you are going to need your shoulder to upper chest line measurement. Mine is 9.5. You are going to find it by measuring it on your basic bodice pattern. So that's the measurement from here all the way to the upper chest line, okay? And then you are also going to need your upper chest line measurement to the bust line, which is the distance from here to there, okay? Mine is 2 inches. You also going to need your bust line measurement to the waist line. Mine is 6 inches, so it's this distance from here to there, okay? And then the hip circumference, okay? And your total length of the dress, that's the desired length of the dress, okay? So that's what you're going to need as your measurements, okay? Basically, this dress is going to end up with a square neck, okay? So you've got to determine how deep you want your neckline to be, all right? So I'm going to measure mine. I want it to be at the 7-inch mark. So I'm going to measure from that shoulder line to 7 inches here, okay? So once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and draw a straight line, okay? That's where I'm going to have my neckline. So once I've determined this, I'm going to also add an allowance up here, because I'm going to fold back, you know, after cut. That's my finished neckline, but I'm going to be folding back 1 inch. So I'm going to add 1 inch here, okay? So I'm going to measure 1 inch, right? And put a mark there, and then go ahead and draw another line. Okay, so basically I'm going to fold back this pattern along this second line here, okay? So after folding that, I've got my hip measurement here, okay? So when I cut the fabric, I'm not going to go in as my pattern goes in like that. I'm just going to go up straight, okay? So you can make an imaginary line. I'm just going to go cut up all the way straight up to here and follow the adding in some sewing allowance. Okay, and then that's all really, and the length is going to be the desired length. So that's how the back and front pieces are going to be looking exactly the same. So I'm going to show you when I cut out the pieces. So there is my pattern piece on the fabric. So I'm going to cut along here, okay? Cut along there and then make a straight line all the way down here. This is the sewing allowance, that distance there, okay? That distance there. And then I'm going to cut it according to my desired length of the fabric. I'll show you when I've cut out the piece. So when you cut it out, it's going to be looking like this, okay? So according to the plan, you're supposed to measure 1 inch, that blue line that you see there, okay? So I'm going to measure 1 inch and draw a line there, okay? So that's going to be the forward line there, okay? And then you're going to measure this distance here, okay? That distance from where the line is to your waistline, okay? Okay, it's 11 inches. So you're going to measure 11 inches from that line. That's going to be your waistline, okay? Right. Okay. Now, from that point up to all here, I'm going to be marking 1 inch apart lines. You see, 1 inch wide lines, like it's starting from here. Okay, see what I'm doing here? Okay, go up. Sorry. Okay, see those 2 lines? Go up again. Okay, another one. So you carry on the process, okay? When you finish, you turn over, you do it on the other side, okay? So that's what I'm going to be doing now. Okay, there is my lines for shearing, all done, okay? I can tell you this was not easy, but there we go, all done at last. So this line here is just going to be our forward line, okay? Remember that, right? And on that first line there, I'm going to put elastic on it, okay? I'm not going to use the shearing thread. The shearing thread is going to be used on all these, the rest of the lines, okay? So to determine how long a stretch of elastic I need for that line, I again go back to my basic bodice pattern, go to my upper chest line, okay? Right, and measure elastic, okay? Right. Do you see that? When it stretches, it's going to double up, okay? So it's going to stretch all the way to there, right? So there you go. That's for our first line, and then the rest of it we're going to use shearing. Now let's prepare our sewing machine. Okay, this is the type of sewing machine I'm going to be using, okay? So for that first line, where I'm going to add the elastic, I'm going to go to that stitch there, number 6, okay? Right, so I'm just going to put 6 on there, okay? Right. With normal tension, I'm not going to change the tension yet, okay? So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. You're going to fold back the 1 inch, as I said earlier. okay, and this is the midpoint of this side, okay. So you're going to fold your elastic as well in two like that, okay. Right, mark the fold line and match it with the pin here, okay. So you're going to put it, take the pin out and pin the elastic on there, okay, like that. Okay, now you're going to pull the elastic. Before you pull it, so that the fold line doesn't get distorted, you pin along the line, okay. Okay, now let's go to the sewing machine. Okay. Okay, you carry on pulling the elastic as I'm doing here. Okay, like that. Okay. So that's the elastic in place, as you can see. Right, starting to look good already. We're going to turn over to the right side and we're going to start shearing along those lines, okay. So to do that, you've got to get a fresh bobbin reel like that, which is suitable for your sewing machine, okay. Get your shearing thread, okay, give it a snap there, and wind it using your hand, okay. The reason why you have to hand wind it, because you don't want to put too much tension on the thread, okay, because once you start pulling, the shearing will not come out loose, nice and loose, okay. There is your bobbin reel, not too loaded because you don't want to put any tension against the threads, okay. So I'm going to open my sewing machine, okay. Others open on top depending on what type of sewing machine you have, okay. So I'm going to take that one out and place this one in, okay, exactly the same as the other one. All right, then I put it back in like that. Okay, right. Once that is done, put this back. So before you start, make sure you got the loose tension here, okay. On my sewing machine, the higher the number, the loose tension you've got. So I put it 9, which is the highest. You go back to your 0, which is a straight stitch here, okay, and then you put the widest stitch, which is at 45, okay. So that's it about your sewing machine. I don't know, every sewing machine is different, but make sure you've got a wide, very wide stitch like you're doing gathers here. As you can see on mine, the smaller the number, the smaller the narrower the stitch. The bigger the number, the wider. Okay, so once you've done that, the next thing you're going to do is get your shearing thread out. Okay, like that. Right, and put everything at the back. So starting with that line here, we're going to start shearing. Okay, can you see? We go to the sewing machine, at least 1 inch inside. Okay, you don't start right at the edge, you go in about 1 inch. Right, okay. You'll be stretching your fabric as you go along, but just let it do its thing, you see, like that. Okay. Very slow and steady. There's no need to be rushing, because this is a very delicate procedure following our line here. Okay, okay, about 1 inch before the edge of the fabric. Okay, I lift the foot like that. Okay, I turn it round, and then again start in about 1 inch in. Okay, like that. Okay, nice and steady. Okay, so that's basically what you do. So you keep on shearing. As you can see, it's coming out really nice. You keep on doing the same thing until you come to that last line here, which is exactly on the waistline. Okay, so I've managed to do 2 of them, one for the front and one for the back. Okay, so yeah, that's it. The dress looks like it's gonna be very beautiful. So that's it all. That's all for the shearing. Now let's move on to the sleeves. Now for the sleeve, all I did was fold my basic sleeve pattern in half. Okay, as you can see, added 1 inch all around up to here, and then instead of curving inwards like that, I just went down straight. Okay, and left about ½ an inch there for him. Okay, so that's the sleeves done. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is just to put a 1 inch hem on the cap of my sleeves, and then ½ inch hem at the bottom of my sleeves. Fold your sleeve in half like that, inside out, and mark the middle. Okay, fold your elastic as well in half, right, and match that with the mark here. Okay, so I'm going to be putting the elastic right there. Okay, so I'm going to pin it in place. I'm going to start from here using the zigzag stitch. Okay, this is the sleeves done. That's the bottom of the sleeve, and this is the sleeve top with the elastic in place. Okay, and I've secured with some stitch there. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is just turn them over and join them here. Okay, join them there, and then they'll be ready to insert on the dress. Now for the dress, all I'm going to do now is to join them two together, right side facing. Okay, like that. Then I'm going to pin. Right, when I've pinned all the way to the end, this is quite a long dress, I'm just going to go ahead and stitch 1 inch seam allowance all the way, both of them. Okay, once they are stitched, then they will be ready. I'll go ahead and join this, attach the sleeves. I'll show you when it's done. Okay, that's all I'm going to do now. So right down 1 inch down, and then insert the sleeve right there. Okay, this is the part that's going to go here, the part that's got elastic casing like this. Okay, like that. So basically what you do is you insert, you stitch up to there. Okay, and then the other side same. So I've joined the side seam for the sleeve. Okay, I've also joined the side seam here for the dress. Okay, as you can see. Right, now you bring this seam, okay, turn it inside out first. Okay, so we're gonna join it onto the dress like that. Okay, okay, make sure the gathers of the elastic are out of the way like that. Okay, so the next thing you are going to do is just to sew there, and then the dress is going to be looking like that when it's done. Okay, right. Okay, can you see the sleeves going that way, and That's the shoulder. Okay, right, so that's what I'm going to do with the other side. Okay, the last thing will just be to hem the dress, and I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so there we go. That's the finished dress. Okay, with sleeves attached and everything, as you can see. I know it was a longish video, but thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share the video. Thank you.